Well, ladies and gentlemen, looks like Activision Blizzard has decided that they are going to double down on DEI and ESG nonsense, even though the room around them is surrounded by people that are giving all of that up and forgetting about it, and Trump is coming down on it, and all that is happening. And yet, Activision and their president decides that it is in their best interest to double down on DEI and ESG, and has sent out a big letter to their employees that was leaked by Grums from Blizzard. So again, guys, this nonsense from Rob Kostic, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, is absolutely ridiculous, because if you just read the room and you look around you, you'll realize that people are abandoning this nonsense that has not been proven to be profitable in the slightest. There is barely any games out there that are officially woke without actually having pre-established IPs that have ever actually made a good profit. Very few, if any, have done so, and yet it seems like Activision wants to double down on it. So let's get into this tweet, guys, from Grums. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So before we go and read Rob's statement, let's read what Grums had to say. It says, Activision Blizzard president doubles down on DEI and ESG. Hundreds of employees send likes over this. In an all-company message, Rob Kostic reaffirms that the company commitment to disastrous non-merit policies that have destroyed studios nonstop in 2024. Well, in all actuality, it's not even just 2024. Look at Ubisoft, for example. We're still losing studios. Even in 2025, they're closing down studios left and right. So it's a bloodbath out there. It really is. The gaming industry is hemorrhaging itself, and they're doing it because they don't want to let the ideology go. They are it's so ingrained in their minds. It's so ingrained in who they are that they would actually rather make less money and risk the company than give up the ideology. Look at the indie developers that are attacking the Real Game Awards because they got showcased in the Real Game Awards. They flat out said that we don't want more sales. We'd rather make less money and stick to our ideology. It's insane to me. But again, they don't understand the age-old statement from fucking Michael Jordan, which was Republicans buy shoes too. They don't care. They don't want Republicans to buy their shoes, if you catch my drift. Anyway, to be clear, this work continues to be extremely important in everything that we do. Our inclusive growth team has made great strides in helping us weave inclusivity into all aspects of business. This sounds like unlawful hiring practices and non-merit-based promotions are still the plan at the company as they fail to read the room. Okay, so if you guys don't know who Rob Kostic is, this is Rob. He is currently the president over at Activision Publishing, and he was appointed this role in January of 2019. Prior to that, Kostic has been a Call of Duty executive vice president and general manager at Activision for about 10 years. And he's worked with Activision for over 15 years. Now let's see what he actually said. So this is a leaked message. And shout out again to Grums for getting these messages. He still has access to this, thankfully. I guess he has connections over at Blizzard still. Not shocking. So this is from Rob Kostic himself. He basically at everybody. And he says, given the headlines around diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, programs in the workplace, it's no surprise that questions have come up about whether the future looks like, or what the future looks like at Activision, and whether our focus and priorities around DEI are shifting. To be clear, this work continues to be extremely important in everything that we do. It's important to our games, our culture, and who we are as a company. Now, keep in mind, this is Activision Blizzard, right? Do you guys understand how many lawsuits and how many skeletons Activision Blizzard has as a company when it comes to sexual assault and allegations and all this kind of nonsense and toxic workplace, whatever the case may be? They have so many skeletons, and they decided to adopt all of this DEI nonsense after those skeletons came out. Shocking. It's ridiculous how people just will forget all of those things as long as they get virtue signaled to. It's so insane. Anyway, so he says, our inclusive growth team has made great strides in helping us weave inclusivity in all aspects of business. Our strategy here remains focused on enhancing the experiences of all employees, providing exceptional experiences to players globally, and providing accessible opportunities to those interacting with our company and our brand. I look forward to all the great work we'll continue to do together. Rob. Now, look at all of these emojis, bro. Look at all these emojis. People pretending to be so happy and excited over what this man said. What the funny thing is, there's someone here who is leaking this information to Grums. So clearly not everybody's excited about it. Clearly not everybody is down for what this nonsense is talking about. And this is what I mean, man. People will be fake to your face. They will tell you, oh, yeah, I'm a Kamala supporter. I voted for Kamala Harris. And then before you know it, they voted for Trump. And then if you find out, your world is shattered because you're like, why did you vote for Trump? I don't understand. What do you mean? I thought you were down with that. And then people realize, no, they will be fake to you. You know, guys don't understand, man. When it comes to public perception, people will be fake as hell and will pretend to go with the wind and secretly go against it behind your back because they don't want to get canceled in real life. And if they view partnering with anti-DEI or anti-woke policies, if they view that as getting canceled, then they're just they're gonna pretend as if they're not down with that. But the simple fact of the matter is, look at the voting and see how that went in this country. The vast majority of people decided to vote against that nonsense. And now you have all of these practices canceling DEI, removing it from the workplace. They're coming down on it. And then you have these CEOs or these presidents or whatever. They're coming out and trying to double down on. The simple fact is, Rob over here at Activision Blizzard, there's nothing that has come out from Activision Blizzard aside from your typical Call of Duties, especially something from Blizzard. Nothing has come out from Blizzard that's made headway ever since they got bought out by Activision. Activision has completely ruined that company. Activision has taken all the passion that used to exist at that company and made it for profit, and that's all they did. That's literally it. And it's unfortunate because Blizzard was one of those companies that I loved. I really did, man. That Blizzard and Bethesda and BioWare were the three companies that I loved so much when I was growing up and playing all their games and whatnot. World of Warcraft was one of my favorite MMORPGs, obviously played since day one, got some server first achievements, all kinds of nonsense that you could imagine. And yet here we are, where unfortunately all of those companies have abandoned their quality, abandoned their passion, and it now leads to this, where we have people deciding to double down on DEI, even though they know it will risk their company, even though they know it will potentially ruin their brand. So there's so many people that are against this stuff. If you go through Grum's comments over here, King Quem says, I stopped caring at inclusion. Retro says, oh boy, Xbox is cooked. Schleppin says he gets paid out of the way and won't have to deal with harpies at his door. This right here is exactly what it is. He gets paid no matter what. These employees get paid no matter what. The executives are getting paid to have these DEI initiatives pushed, and they get bonuses if they reach certain metrics. This was proven from the leak that happened over at Disney, proving that the executives get more money from better DEI hiring practices. So they are actively doing this not because they want to, but because it gets them richer quicker. That's all they care about. They got Tom saying the reactions are like when Stalin would off the first guy to finish applauding his speech. Azriel says, guess I'm going non-binary with these guys too. This is actually a really good meme. If DEI is a good thing, why do they get upset when you call someone a DEI hire? That's a fucking great point. Why do they get upset? Who really knows? Perhaps it's because they know that DEI people didn't actually get it based off their own merit. Most likely. Tom also says, do the DEI marching orders come from Microsoft? Probably not, because Activision Blizzard was already doing this. When they got called out for their nonsense, when they got called out for their, allegations and whatnot, they started adopting DEI because they knew it was a good way to save face in the public eye, and a lot of people would just turn a blind eye to the allegations as long as you virtue signal to them. The corporations have figured out what the normal person will basically turn a blind eye to so long as you do X, Y, Z, and they've mastered it by now. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it if you get to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.